They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather, weirds of a feather. Caw-caw!
Chef Santa, mixing up a whole batch of love.
Chef Santa, sending kisses from above.
That's gold!
Oh, it's so good. And that is our hit song, Chef Santa.
Yeah, from our band Synchronized Night Boat.
Yep.
You can find us on Spotify.
Not yet, but soon.
One day
We'll release an album.
Yeah, we're thinking about it. That's going to be on our holiday album.
Oh yeah, Chef Santa,
along with "Will You Spin My Dreidel."
Ooh, I like that one.
Do you want to talk about the inspiration of the song? What we did today?
Yeah, so today, Kristen and I, there's a concept in ADHD called body doubling, where if you're with someone else, we're much more likely to get work done, get tasks done. It's just easier to have someone there with you. So Kristen came up with the genius combination of combining body doubling and double dare to make body double dare.
That's great. It's perfect.
So
body double dare.
Today we body double dared each other to run an errand.
Yeah. And did we accomplish that errand? No. But did we accomplish something even better? Yeah. I found a Chef Santa for a Christmas decoration, which inspired this wonderful song that you have just heard.
We went to the to find some.
No, you're not supposed to say that. Cut that out.
Oh.
It's a Christmas present.
I'll cut this out. We went to a store to find a thing. That's as specific as I could be.
Thing that we can't talk about until after the holidays.
Yes, but we went on an errand to buy a Christmas present for someone, and we didn't find the present, but we ended up leaving with a little stuffed Chef Santa.
Chef Santa.
And
as one does.
And then we wrote a song about it because we're artistic geniuses.
Some may say that. Some may not.
We're just always inspired by what's around us.
Yeah. Take inspiration from anywhere.
Yeah. That's the genius of Synchronized Night Boat.
Like, reach down and touch my knees.
Rise up and
I'm sorry, that's our new song.
Rise up and reach my knees.
Rise up and reach my knees.
And the Indoor Boy Next Door.
Yeah.
These are all songs you'll find on our next album.
So stay tuned.
Obviously the classic Can You Hear My Mouth Sounds?
Yeah. Which we've kind of given hints and whispers at before, right?
Yeah. It's to the tune of Will You Light My Candle?
Yeah.
Most of our songs are just to the tune of other songs. Like Synchronized Night Boat.
And Hey Santa.
Yeah.
Chef Santa.
Chef Santa. Chef Santa.
Chef Santa. Yeah. Well, welcome. That was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Get us warmed up.
Yeah. I'm feeling warm and toasty. And that's not just the coffee brandy talking.
But a little bit.
A little bit. It's good. It's good for the soul. Yes.
It's that time of the season.
Yes, as one does in Maine, where you drink coffee brandy. Allen's, to be specific. Allen's coffee brandy. It was the number one drink in Maine, most frequently bought, but has been demoted to number 2 because now everybody in Maine is buying Fireball. Did you know that?
Oh, still?
Yeah, I know. I thought
we all went through a phase collectively.
Yeah, in like college, but I guess, nope, still number 1. Actually, I had a coworker at my job in Washington, and she's like, She's older. I would classify her in the boomer generation, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Have you heard of this Fireball?" She's like, "It's like cinnamon whiskey." I'm like, "Yeah, I have. I've vomited it many times."
Yeah,
it's worse going up than it is going down.
It's so rough. Yeah, I had one bad time on a ski trip, and I think that was the last time I drank it, actually.
Yeah, it's like once it comes up and you get that burning sensation, it's hard to go back to that.
Yeah, but that's what I think is happening. A lot of boomers are rediscovering.
I mean, it's a great beverage. Absolutely. It's just everything in moderation, folks.
Yep. As you sip your coffee, Brandy.
It's just a little bit.
All right. You want to give us
welcome. That's been Coffee Brandy Talk. Shout out to Allen's.
Yes. Thanks for sponsoring us, Allen's.
Yeah.
You don't know it yet, but you're sponsoring us.
You're going to be our number one. Just wait.
You'll be number one in our heart.
You are. Actually,
we'll take down Fireball together. Join forces with us. Allen's.
Ellen.
Well, it's not Ellen. That's Steve.
This has been a weird introduction.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. Welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Kristen.
And I'm your host, Grace. Thanks for joining us. So before we dive in today, we want to make a little announcement. We're going to be taking a little break for the holidays next week. So next Thursday, we won't have a new episode. Sorry, Max. We'll be back the following Thursday with an end-of-the-year wrap-up of everything we've learned from doing this podcast so far, along with some ADHD-specific advice on how to set realistic goals for yourself in 2022, right before the new year.
Yeah, and a couple of updates from our quirks and pizza secrets and, some updates since we've started this podcast. Stay tuned. And Max, you can just talk to us in real life. You don't have to wait for another episode to come out.
She's probably just going to wait for another episode to come out.
She's like, no, I don't want to meet you in real time.
I like being able to pause you guys, turn you off, not have to engage in conversation.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Which is understandable at times.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But in the meantime, we want to give you some emotional regulation tips that we're guessing may come in handy when spending the time with family over the holidays. Emotional dysregulation is often reported as one of the most challenging aspects of having ADHD. But for some reason, we don't really hear it talked about that much. And as of right now, it isn't included in the diagnostic criteria, despite experts identifying emotional dysregulation as a core trait of ADHD. Like everything with ADHD, there's a physiological reason for why we have such intense emotional reactions. And like we've said before, the more you know about what's going on, the better you can regulate it, and the more strategies we can put into place.
Also, like everything ADHD, there are some positive sides to this trait. While we may feel negative emotions very intensely and have a lower frustration tolerance, on the flip side, we also feel positive emotions very intensely. And when we love things, we love things. We have endless capacity for joy, and we get very, very excited about things. Of course, this doesn't cancel out the difficult aspects of emotional dysregulation. It's extremely exhausting to have to regulate our emotions all the time, especially when we're around others, if we're put into uncomfortable situations, or we're dealing with rejection or failure. But the more ADHD-specific strategies we can develop, the less exhausting it'll be to regulate ourselves, and the easier it is to enjoy the positive sides of being ADHD.
We have 2 articles for you today that we'll include in the show notes. Read those show notes from my favorite magazine of all time, Attitude Magazine. Really, Grace, who wrote this part?
You're always talking about Attitude Magazine. You're obsessed with it.
I guess so. The first one is called Exaggerated Emotions, How and Why ADHD Triggers Intense Feelings by Thomas E. Brown, PhD. He says, quote, challenges with processing emotions start in the brain itself. Sometimes the working memory impairments of ADHD allow a momentary emotion to become too strong, flooding the brain with one intense emotion, end quote. He goes on to further outline other characteristics of ADHD that make emotional regulation more difficult for us, in addition to difficulty with working memory and executive function. These include emotional flooding, extreme sensitivity to disapproval, which is also known as rejection sensitivity dysphoria, exaggerated fears leading to more social anxiety, emotional avoidance, and a reduced ability to anticipate pleasure or register satisfaction with tasks when the payoff is delayed. I would say my one sentence for that is we're all or nothing people. We're 100% or 0%.
Yep, there's no in between.
And there's no in between. You know what? In college, my buddy Joel would say that I'm all or nothing, but he would refer that to I would be either blackout drunk or dead sober, which is a
slightly different, but same
very
concept.
Accurate.
Yeah, it is. Our other article that we have in the show notes is titled How's Your Emotional Resilience? Learning to Cope with Intense ADHD Feelings by Joel Nigg, PhD. In this article, he says, quote, cultivating emotional resilience helps children and adults with ADHD manage the intense, dysregulated feelings synonymous with the condition. I don't love calling it a condition, but anyways.
It's a lifestyle.
It is. One we didn't choose, but
the lifestyle chose us.
Hell yeah. It's just kind of how our brains are. He goes on to say in this article, learn how to cultivate stress management strengths, healthy habits, positive social groups, and other methods for building emotional resilience in the face of ADHD's unseen challenges, end quote. He also provides some insights into what's at play in our brains when we have these strong emotional reactions, and then he goes in to provide some really helpful tips for emotional resilience. Things like monitoring our overall health, making sure we're getting enough sleep, building strong social supports, addressing and managing stress and ongoing adversity, developing coping strategies like self-talk and shifting attention, and using behavior counseling and psychotherapy can all be really helpful for building that emotional resilience. And the more skills we can build, the easier it'll be to exist as us.
Most importantly, folks, the holidays are very emotionally taxing. So take care of yourself. Take care of your body, your sleeping schedule. Take care of yourself. You know, I think the holidays are all about like giving. What about a gift to yourself?
Yeah.
It's every once in a while you need it.
Yeah. Take breaks. You know, if you need to go up in your room and cry a little bit by yourself, go do that.
Or just spend like 3 hours on TikTok. It's okay.
Yeah, give your brain a little break. If family members are, saying things to you that are upsetting to you, you don't have to engage in those conversations with them. Just because they're your family doesn't mean that you owe them your emotional energy.
That was well worded.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, now that we got Learning Corner out of the way.
Yeah. I feel learned. Do you want to get into your little accomplishment?
Yeah, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Little accomplishments, but big in our hearts. All right, for this week, my little accomplishment was that I made a spoon.
Oh,
a wooden spoon.
A wooden spoon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
How?
So my husband, Ian, is a woodworker, and he has a little woodworking shop that he has with my dad. It's pretty cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah. And you basically learned, we made a little template of a nice big wooden spoon and then cut them out and sanded them down and carved out the middles to make a little spoon
What did
dish.
you use to carve out the middle?
Oh, don't make
Dremel?
me. I think that's what it is, actually. I was going to say, don't make me come up with that word, but there you are.
I have a weird TikTok algorithm, so.
Yeah, you're on Dremel TikTok?
Yeah.
Dremel Talk?
You're not?
No, but maybe I should be, because I think I'm a spoon maker now.
Yeah, now you're a spoon maker. It's your new, oh my gosh, should we add this to hobby collectors?
Ooh, ding, 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 new hobby.
New hobby alert.
Spoon making.
Where are our handbells?
Yeah, get our handbells.
Yeah.
Add handbell sounds here.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I won't come back to do that. Maybe I will.
Probably not.
You'll find out. I don't know. But yeah,
we'll
I made
leave a space.
Yeah. All right. Here. Yeah, I made a wooden spoon. I'm pretty proud of it. I can post a picture of it. And I don't know. This just might be a new lifestyle for me. Who knows?
Grace the Spoon Maker.
Ooh, it has a nice ring to it.
You know how in the medieval days, your last name was kind of like your job description, like Smith, as in a black.
Grace Spoon?
Grace Spoon Maker. That's kind of metal.
Grace
even though
Spoon
it's
Maker?
wooden spoons, but it's kind of metal like. That's kind of cool.
I like it. Grace
Spoon Maker. Ooh, that'd be a great Dungeons and Dragon name.
I'll have to keep that in my back pocket for if I ever play.
The Spoon Maker. Just sounds really cool.
Does it?
Yeah, I think it does. D&D folks, if you're listening, probably not. Get back to me. Isn't that a cool name?
As if they're going to be able to answer in this moment. Well, is it?
There's one
We're
person
waiting.
who's going to write like a 3-paragraph email being like, this is all the reasons why you're wrong and you suck.
It's going to be Justin. I told her that we talked about him in the podcast briefly about how he's a Dungeons and Dragons nerd. He said he would listen to the podcast, but skip ahead just so he could hear his name. Wow, thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
Thanks, Justin. I know you're not listening.
Don't tell him about this.
I won't.
All right. Can I tell you about my little accomplishment?
Please do.
I repotted a big-ass plant.
Big ass plant?
Yeah, it's an ass plant. I don't know if you've ever heard of ass plants, but they're big.
Luscious.
No, it's a monstera. Have you ever heard of those?
Yes.
Yeah. So I have one. It was like 4 plants in one tub. And then I like repotted it a couple months ago and it's already outgrown its pot. And I was like looking at it. I'm like, I really need to repot that. And I was dreading it because it was going to be a big thing. And then I just all of a sudden like hyper focused. And then it was repotted. I got a bunch of different plants out of it. I'm going to give one to my ma.
Yay.
Who doesn't listen to this, so I can tell her that.
Nice.
Hope you're ready for that surprise, Therese.
Yeah, she's not listening.
Yeah, she doesn't know how to work an iPhone or a phone, any phone. She doesn't know what the internet is, so it's okay.
Isn't it weird how we want to do something for so long and it's like we keep looking at it, keep feeling guilty about I should do that, and then one day, maybe at midnight, maybe at 6 a.m.
It was definitely at 11:35.
Yeah, it just like hits us and it's like, I need to do this immediately. Right this second.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It looks okay. I hope it will be better in the spring when it starts like putting out better leaves and stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, but at least you did it.
It's an accomplishment. I'm proud of myself.
You accomplished it.
Transition.
Oh no, we don't have a song for businesses someone should start. Just not us.
What's the
It's
business.
It's business time. That's already a song. It's business time.
Businesses someone should start. Just not us. What's the song? Oh, some people call me quirky. We should do it to the same rhythm.
Yeah. We have some great ideas, but not the follow through. Someone else should start this business, just not us.
That's great.
Yeah. All right, we're mixing things up a little bit today because we feel like it.
Hold on. I'm going to repouch.
All right.
Nice.
Safely in its pouch.
Nice. We're changing it up, mixing it up. This segment, instead of I'm so quirky, we're doing a slightly different segment called Businesses Someone Should Start, Just Not Us.
Yeah, we love the segment so much the first time we did it that we kind of wanted to add it into our permanent repertoire of segs. So each week we will...
Segs.
Grow up.
Okay.
Okay. So each week for now until however long we feel like it, we're going to be trading off weeks with I'm So Quirky and Businesses Someone Should Start, Just Not Us.
Because we get a lot of ideas.
Yeah, and you need to hear them.
You need to hear them, but someone else needs to do them, just not us.
Yes, but give us 50%.
Yeah.
Remember, this is legally binding.
Legally binding.
You have to.
We need that 50%. No exceptions.
Yep. All right, Kristen,
I got a good
slap
one.
us with that amazing business.
Okay. This is a product. We've all heard of Lance Armstrong. We've all heard of Stretch Armstrong. My idea is to make an arm Armstrong. All arms, all the time. It's just arms. It's stretchy arms. It's like a whole, I feel like the big problem with both Lance Armstrong and Stretch Armstrong is they didn't have enough arms. So
I've always said that.
Yeah. Grow more arms, Lance.
Yeah, Lance.
So yeah, this would be like a little action figure. This season's hottest toy of a all arms, all the time, stretchy action figure. Arm Armstrong.
Is it? I'm picturing like a wheel of arms.
Wheel of arms, yeah. It's like mildly frightening.
Is he still in like body form and just the whole thing has arms coming out of him? Or is he
it's
like a little
torso
circle?
with arms like in a circle, and then the elbows all go the same way. So it's like it almost looks like a little like a gear or like a ninja star, but it's arms,
like
and
a
it's the
pinwheel?
same. Yeah, a pinwheel, and then it's the same kind of material as Stretch Armstrong with the goo inside.
I love it. Just arms.
Just
all the
arms.
time.
All arms all the time. Arm Armstrong.
Arm Armstrong. Wow, I love it.
Yeah. Toy of the year. So
if someone owns a toy manufacturing company, please hit us up.
Or a goo factory, because you know how the Stretch Armstrong had that goo in the middle.
Oh yeah, if you own a goo factory, even better.
Hit us up. It would like break in a second, and then you get like goo on the floor, and you're like, ugh.
I would love it if one of our listeners owned a goo factory.
I was like, actually, by the way, I own a goo factory.
That's the exact brand we're going for. You're our target demographic, goo factory owners.
It's called Goofy Goos.
Ooh, there's another business idea. A free one, a little bonus.
I will work on that business idea, and I will get back to you.
All right, maybe next time.
Next time we do businesses, someone should start, just not us. Grace, what's your business? You mentioned this, and I'm intrigued.
All right, my business idea is it's like Frisbee golf, except it's soccer.
Okay.
I won't be elaborating. No, I have to.
I need more
That's
information.
not enough words.
I'm so intrigued.
So essentially, you know, the little ultimate frisbee, I don't know what you would call it, like a goal.
Like the football ones that are like a big, like U on a stick?
No. Have you ever seen not ultimate frisbee golf?
Oh, yeah. It's like a little
It's
net
like it has
in
chains.
the air.
Yeah, it has like chains all around it.
Yeah.
So the frisbee hits it and like falls in. It's
Okay,
like a basket kind of like,
oh,
but a
net
little
basket,
higher up.
yeah.
Yeah. A little basket with chains on it.
Chain basket.
And so my idea is it's like that. Probably change up the design of the basket a little bit.
Okay.
But it's big enough where you can kick a soccer ball into it, but it's off the ground like in frisbee golf. So you're having to lift the ball like into the basket.
Ooh, okay.
But it's not crazy high. You know, it's an achievable height. And maybe my dad and I were talking about this. We kind of came up with this together.
Oh, yeah. So does that mean he gets like 25% of the profits?
No, he's just my ideas guy. I'm also an ideas guy, but he's my ideas behind the ideas.
He gets nothing.
Yep.
Sorry, Steve.
I'll give you credit. This is it. This is what you get. So maybe there could be different levels, you know, so it could be very inclusive of, you know, one basket could be kind of closer to the ground for people who don't play soccer, and then maybe a couple higher up. So you're really having to like escalate your skills. And my other idea is that in the center, if you're able to like land it into the middle, it's going to have some type of like spring action device that pops the soccer ball up really high in the air. So then you get another chance for like a second bonus point. And you have to kind of like handle the ball from coming out of the air and pop it back into the goal again, but from like a, you know, falling out of the air.
So here's my question. So like soccer, you wouldn't be able to use your hands for this?
No.
Because that would just probably be basketball?
Yeah, that would just be like picking up a ball and putting it in a basket.
Got it.
You could do, but it doesn't sound very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this idea. Let's go to the frolfing league. The frolfing.
Bring it to the frolfing league?
Yeah, to the frolfers.
The frolfers? Yeah, no one ever wrote into us about what we should call you, so we're calling you frolfers.
Yeah, deal with it.
We know you hate it and good.
Maybe if you sent us an email, this could have been avoided.
Yep, but you didn't, so we're calling you frolfers.
Frolfers. So maybe if we go to the frolfer court, we could test it out.
Meet you on the court. Well,
is that what it's called?
No, probably the green.
The green, frolfer green.
Well, my sister Lily and her now husband Jeff.
Just
got
congratulations.
married. I have a brother.
Oh.
But Jeff is big into frisbee golf, and they have one of those like frisbee golf basket goals at their house. Oh, he frolfs. He's very good. Oh. And so we came up with this because we were kind of screwing around on Thanksgiving, and we were just kicking a soccer ball at his frisbee golf basket. And that's where this idea came from.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So please don't steal this idea.
I wonder if you could, because you know you can go to those places and like pay money to frolf. I wonder if you could just like, instead of getting the frisbees, you're like, oh, I brought my own ball, and then just play soccer, frisbee golf. What would you even call that?
I don't know. That's another thing. We needed a good name for it.
Frolfer.
No, it's just frisbee golf.
Well, maybe the frolfers will email us on a good idea.
Yeah. Well,
you can redeem yourself, frolfers.
Yep. Or not, and we'll just keep calling you frolfers.
Yep.
Well, I'll work on an idea because I feel like I'm pretty good at titles.
Get back to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's my business. Someone should start it, just not me.
When you're hyper-focused but you're out of paint, no more brown for the hairs on your taint. Come on down to the one place in town that's open late for your crafting date. It's Michael's at midnight. Get your craft stuff here. Michael's at midnight. Get your art stuff here.
All right, it's time.
These are the collectors, and these are their hobbies.
Da-da. Welcome to Hobby Collectors.
Yeah, we're switching it up again.
Yep.
Double switch.
Yeah, this is just a wacky day.
Yeah, wild.
It's all that coffee brandy.
You didn't drink any.
I know, but I'm just picking up your vibes. Yeah. Feeding off your energy.
It helps. With my emotions, mostly.
Oh, good.
Speaking of emotional dysregulation. No, just kidding.
Alcohol is not a good way to regulate your emotions. That's not real advice.
It's fake advice. Boop, boop, boop. We are changing it up for this hobby collectors. We are doing hobby collectors, but slightly different. We're doing the hobbies that never were, which is basically, we're going to talk about hobbies that we were going to get into and then never happened. We hyper-focused, but then they never exist. They never happened. No follow-through.
Yeah. The ghost of hobbies that never were.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we abandon hobbies after like a week or a month, and sometimes we don't even get that far.
Yeah, we just kind of like perseverate on it for a little bit, and then we're like, yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah, we like the concept of it.
Yeah.
But getting to do it is a whole nother game.
Exactly.
So we want to, pay our respects to those hobbies that were just a whisper in our brains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got one.
All right, what you got?
ready for this?
I am.
I was going to teach myself how to play piano. I can't even tell you how many YouTube videos I watched on like teaching yourself how to play piano, and like YouTube videos on how to read music and like where to start and all these things. And it kind of ended when I was like bartering with a man who I found on Craigslist who was selling like a Casio keyboard, and I didn't want to pay full price. So I was trying to like barter him, and my mom comes in. She goes, no, absolutely not. Put the phone down. And I was like so taken aback. She like coming in hot for sure. She like opens the door like, absolutely, I can hear you out there. You are not getting a piano. I think she might have thought it was like a baby grand piano or something. She's like, where are you going to put that? And like the guy can like hear her because she's, yelling. And I was like, Mom, I'm going to teach myself how to learn piano. And she's like, you are not going to do that. You're just not going to do it. You're going to get a piano. It's going to sit. It's going to collect dust. And she's absolutely right. And we got in this big argument, and I just hung up on the Craigslist guy. And I think he's probably really glad that I never called him back. And and then after we had our little spat, that was it. I never looked into the piano again.
But also, you don't know what that would have blossomed into if you had gotten the piano.
Nah.
You have the Skeletor fingers for it.
I do have long Skeletor. I use my Skeletor fingers for surgery, not for piano. Different strengths.
Well, we'll never know about that hobby.
We'll never know. Yeah, it was a hobby that never was. So.
Although you love jamming on the keyboard here, so
it's a fun keyboard, but that's because it has like all kinds of wacky sounds.
Yeah, I guess we're just like mostly pressing buttons.
Just like
honk honk.
Yeah. I like the.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, lots of different sounds, but it never was. I don't think it ever will be.
You never know, though. Maybe that hobby will come back around, and you can teach yourself here.
I could.
Or just prepare to and then never do it.
Yeah, that's also a more realistic possibility.
At least you won't be putting any money into it.
Very true. Very true.
Because I already have a keyboard that I also told myself I would learn on, and I haven't.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, not to brag, but
like the chopsticks, right? I can do Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh, I know, Heart and Soul.
Yeah, yeah. So that was my hobby that never was.
Oh, we should have done like a ghost themed hobby collector song this time. Because it's the hobbies that never were.
It sounds like
These
sheep.
are the collectors.
Go sheep.
Go sheep.
Would you like to share with us your hobby that never was?
I don't even know how to explain this.
Let me just tell you, this is all she has written down. Hedgehog Terrarium. And there's no context.
Yeah, what else needs to be said?
I have so many questions, but I'm going to give you a chance to explain yourself because there's so much.
You've never heard of that hobby, Hedgehog Terrarium?
Is it like a terrarium inside a hedgehog, like a carved out?
Other way around.
Hedgehog, is it a live hedgehog?
No, all right, I'll tell you. All right, Hedgehog Terrarium. So I went through this big phase where I was convinced that I was going to get into terrarium making because I started collecting animal bones. I thought those would be a really cool way to display the animal skulls. I'm not killing any animals. They're either given to me or I find animals that are already dead. I put them in my death pit, and then 2 weeks later I have a brand new animal skull. Anyways, I thought a cool way to display these animal skulls would be, making cool terrariums, getting some plants in there. So I knew I was receiving a hedgehog skull, And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I made a whole hedgehog-themed terrarium? So
Nice.
I bought I bought a bunch of different cool big glass containers. They're all still empty and sitting in storage. But I bought a bunch of different containers. And then I had this whole plan where I was going to like display the hedgehog skull in the middle of the terrarium on a bed of moss.
As one does.
Yes. And then I was going to get little like hedgehog plastic figurines and spray paint them gold and have them dangling on like fishing wire.
Like little like angel hedgehogs that are like mourning their brother or whatever.
Yes, kind of like floating above the skull, and they'd be like, in a circle floating around in the top of this terrarium, and they would just be kind of dangling like little angels. And yeah, I spent a very long time like designing this hedgehog terrarium.
On paper.
No, I learned how to use, it was some app. It was like some Adobe illustration app. I spent money.
You spent money on this?
Yep. I bought like a whole Adobe illustration package, learned how to use Adobe illustration.
Specifically for this terrarium.
Yes, literally to design this terrarium. So I taught myself how to use it, and then I like spent so friggin' long just designing. I'll have to see if I still have a screenshot of this saved.
Here's the thing. We have to make this.
I know. I feel like Hedgehog Terrarium needs to come to life now.
It has to.
I have the whole layout.
It's out in the universe now.
Yeah. I've designed it. So I've designed most of it, and then I kind of lost interest in it and never actually built the terrarium. Hedgehog Terrarium. Now does it make sense? I mean, it still doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
But do you get what I was going for?
Vaguely, but I think we have to put this into formation.
I'll gather my blueprints. Well, my biggest problem with following through on the building of terrariums is that I have those like big ass sausage fingers, and I'm not a delicate person, so I was just like mashing plants.
You know what you need? You need like some very long forceps.
Oh, I have them. I have all the tools. Once again, I have prepared. I bought moss, I bought rocks, I bought plants. I figured out like the different soil levels that you need to have like a dry terrarium.
Carbon.
Yep.
You gotta have
that.
Screen.
Yep. Got all of it. Too. I have the screen. I have the carbon. And I was like about to order these little hedgehog figurines like from Japan because I couldn't find them anywhere else. They're just like little plastic, I don't know, children's toys. And yeah, I had this whole plan.
From the ceiling. I guess that's the part that really.
I'll have to show you the layout because. Okay. I have a very specific idea in my mind.
Look at those blueprints.
Yeah, it's just the idea was so specific in my mind that it took me so long to draw it all out in Illustrator because I had to learn how to use Illustrator. No, it doesn't. It was never a logical idea from the beginning. And I also worked on this until like 2 a.m. one night, and I was just like in that obsessive hyper focus where it's like you physically can't stop yourself from doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, he was long asleep.
He was like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "Don't bother me,"
because I knew that like I wouldn't.
He's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go that way."
I think I knew I would lose motivation for it the second I got a good night's sleep and like woke up. Like, what the fuck was that?
This is probably a bad idea.
What do those two words mean together? So I stayed up really late working on it, and that was as far as I got.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is one of those things that needs to come into fruition. Is that the right word?
I think so. Oh, we could body double dare it. Will you help me with this hedgehog terrarium?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Will you make my hedgehog terrarium dreams come true?
I've got the Skeletor fingers for it.
Yes. Oh, that's what's missing is your Skeletor fingers.
Skeletor fingers.
Screw the piano. Hedgehog terrarium. Yeah. Screw surgery. Screw the piano. This is where your talent really lies.
This is where I quit my job.
Yes. For this idea.
I'm going to tell my attending, I'm done with surgery so I can go into the hedgehog terrarium business.
Following my passion.
He already thinks I'm really weird, so this is
not going to help.
He's just going to be like, okay.
Yep, that sounds right.
Sounds about right. Good for you.
Follow that dream.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was my hobby that never was.
That's
but
lovely. Could be. One day.
Probably
we'll
won't
keep you updated.
Be. Yeah. Well, what is wrong with me?
I guess the thing that gets me is the gold ones hanging from the ceiling.
I need to show you. I need to see if I can find it.
I guess I'm struggling to like really comprehend what's going on here.
So it was in like a juice, like those nice glass like beverage dispensers that you might see at like a wedding or a party or whatever, where it has like a nice little like. Is that what it's called? It has like a nice little spigot on it.
Oh no, I don't know what it's called, but I know a keg.
No, it's like a beautiful glass one, and it's like pretty big.
Glass keg.
No.
It's like
It has like a delicate little gold spigot on
with
it.
a little spigot keg on it.
It's not a keg. It's a beautiful glass drink holder.
Yes.
And so it has, the top comes in at an angle and then it has like a glass jar, like lid.
And you're going to put a spigot on it?
No, it already has a spigot on it.
Why would you want a spigot?
Well, it's just for looks. I'm not going to use a spigot. It's just for aesthetics. I just thought it was a cool jar.
That's where hedgehog juice comes out.
Yeah, that's where you get the hedgehog juice.
That's what happened to the hedgehog.
Hedgehog water. And so like the strings would be like attached to the top of the jar.
Yep.
And then it would just be like dangling down. There's no water in this terrarium. It's like a dry terrarium.
Well, it has like real plants in it, right?
Yeah, it's like an enclosed. You would keep it closed.
Yeah.
And so they would just be like dangling down above the plants, just kind of like in an angelic circle. This isn't helping. The explanation is not making it any better.
You explain the worse it is.
I didn't say it was a logical idea. I just said it was an idea
I feel a lot
had.
better about my piano now.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to hedgehog terrarium. Anyway.
It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't. That's just how my brain works.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's like that nonlinear thinking can really give us amazing creative ideas and lead us to make amazing inventions and art, but it can also lead us to this.
Hedgehog terrarium.
Hedgehog terrarium.
If you've made a hedgehog terrarium, please email us at weirdsofafeather@gmail.com. And send pictures. My gosh, I need to see this. So
yeah, if someone out there knows what I'm talking about, please let me know. All right, well, on that note, I think I'm starting to hear the scratch of a DJ.
Oh,
that means it's time for Alternative Segments! Alternative!
Wow!
For this week's Alternative Segment, we're doing Holiday Screw-Ups.
Screw-ups!
We have a lot of holiday screw-ups.
There's many, but we're just going to wean it down to one.
I put myself going first for this one, but I just talked a lot about Hedgehog Terrarium, so why don't you go first?
I can go first.
Yeah.
I'm still scarred from this. Is kind of like semi-traumatic. And it happened
Tell us your trauma!
Every year, I make a Christmas card that has my cat Snickers on it. Every year, as in I've done it twice. I always go through Shutterfly, and the first year I did it, you could mail out I could mail from Shutterfly the card to you and be like addressed and everything. That was the first year I did it. I was like, oh, this is so simple. And I don't know what I did last year, but I don't know how to explain it, but instead of them getting a pre-labeled, a card that came together and it had the card and the envelope and it was addressed to you and you get it in the mailbox, it came as if it came in pieces.
like a pre-assembled
package. So I sent this to about 100 people because I did it a bunch of people out west and then a bunch of people here. I did it to my old boss. All of them. I worked for 6 different surgeons. They all got I'm calling it a deconstructed Christmas card because it was really cute. It was going to be in this cute little envelope and have a little liner, and then it had the card, but everybody got this big package from Shutterfly, and everybody was like, I thought you sent me a gift. And I was like, no, it's just your Christmas card. And everybody's texting me and they all came at the same day. So I'm influx of text messages and calls being why did you send me this thing? And it had the receipt in it, which is shit. And I'm just I'm at work. I'm getting all these emails and calls or text messages and calls about someone sent it back because they thought it was the wrong thing. So I had to send her another one. And I'm totally traumatized because everybody got a card that was not put together. It was a big package and it said Shutterfly and it said here's this is how much you paid for all of this, which is great. I'm glad everybody knows how much shipping costs. It was a lot. And it was all deconstructed. So they had to put the card and the liner and the envelope together to reopen it, but they didn't, obviously. Yep. And it was it was just this whole big finagle of thing. And I don't know why I was able to do it one year and not last year. I don't know. Maybe someone who works at Shutterfly can tell me what I did.
Do you think Shutterfly changed the way they did things?
That's
or
what I think.
You just made a mistake.
I know, because I remember I was like working really hard on the shipping, and it even saved my addresses from the year before. So I was like, oh, this is great, because I like made an account. I had all the addresses. I was like, oh, this is really easy that I can put all the addresses in. It's like boop, 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 boop. And then I was like, wow, shipping seems to be a little bit more expensive than usual, but I had a 50% coupon, 50% off coupon, which is great. And
well, that's probably why shipping was so expensive.
Well, obviously. And then, and I was just like so like baffled. And then so someone finally like sent me a video of them opening up their package, because I like couldn't understand what was going on. I'm like, what do you mean you got a package? I just sent you a Christmas card. And they're like, no, it's like a package. And then they like send me, it's this bright orange envelope, or like a package thing of like Shutterfly, and it looks like I sent them a book. I didn't. It was like and it's like all this plastic, like the waste was like disgusting. It's all this, everything. The card was individually wrapped in plastic. The one little liner was individually wrapped in plastic.
I think it also came with like the what's it called? No, when you have like the little version of what the photo is going to look like. What is that called?
Like the template or like the sneak preview or something?
Yeah, where it's like another card that shows like the little, I don't know, photo of like the whole like template, essentially, like the layout of what the card is going to look like.
And you're like,
I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, okay. And I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like still traumatized by it. And I just ordered Christmas cards this year, so hopefully, and I sent them just to me, so hopefully I get them out in time.
But then you're gonna have to mail out all of them.
So it was so easy when I could just do it through Shutterfly, and I was like, oh, that's great. I'm always going through Shutterfly again, and now I'm like, well, fuck. Now I gotta. It's like double work for me, and it's gonna be worth it because it's a pretty cool card. But
yeah, can you please tell people what your card is?
Well, yeah. I dress my cat up. She has this little Santa hat on. And this year, so every year, the first year, it was like me and her in like matching red sweaters sitting together. Last year, it was her in like an elf costume, kind of like looking up, hopefully with like a Christmas tree behind her. And then this year, she is looking angry as fuck with her Santa hat on, and it says joyful. So I'll post a picture of, because they're not in yet, so I'll post a picture of last year's Christmas card to the Instagram.
They're all amazing.
They're great. You know what? It's a new hobby. Ding ding ding.
Ooh.
New hobby alert.
Ding 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 ding. Bell sounds.
Yep. It's a fun hobby. I like to do it. Snickers hates it, but
it's
you
not
know
about
what?
her. It's about us.
She is the most spoiled cat, and I think she can do this one thing for me.
I agree.
Yeah.
Come on, Snickers.
I pay $75 a bag for her food.
And you pay her rent.
And I pay her rent. And her Christmas present this year was $400 of lab work that said she was normal.
Jesus.
And I was like, great. Really glad that we figured that one out. She's fine. She has IBS. So true story. My cat has IBS. So we were figuring it out. We're good. We're doing well. But she has IBS, so I have to put her on special food. And she had antibiotics. Now she has probiotics. Fun. It's all expensive.
The joys of owning a cat.
Yay. I'm sure dogs are more expensive, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Because they get into more mischief.
Yeah. So Snickers just happens to have weird bowels. So.
All right. And that's been
Cat
Bowel Corner.
Bowel Corner. If your cat has bowel problems,
no, thank you.
You don't want to hear. I will read those emails and I will respond to them. Each and every one of them. We can talk about our cats. Send us all your cat facts.
Cat facts.
I want to see pictures. If you've ever dressed your cat up for a holiday card, send that in. I want to know about it. But yeah, that was my and I'm still traumatized by that whole thing, because what if the cards don't go through, or they like accidentally get emailed out to everybody, or like, or something goes wrong? You know, now I'm just like, Mom! Anyway, Grace, would you like to tell us about your holiday screw up?
I would love to tell you about my holiday screw up. One of many. This is naively embarrassing, but
it's adorable.
Yeah, that's me. So when I lived in Boston, after I quit Legal Seafoods, which was actually weird, I think I quit Legal Seafoods, and then literally the next day I was contacted by this very wealthy family to come nanny for them. So it worked out. So always quit your jobs, it'll work out.
No.
That's the lesson here. Yep.
I'm so mad I can't even speak.
So anyways, I started nannying for this very wealthy family. They were like Boston socialites. The kid was like 13, so it was a really easy gig. I pretty much just had to like pick him up from school.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah, so it was a pretty nice gig. So this family was friends with a lot of celebrities, athletes. They were like friends with the whole Bruins team.
They were Boston socialites.
They were, yeah. They were in like real estate and I don't know. They were doing what rich people do.
Yeah.
I am not from that world.
Neither am I.
Yep. And they were friends with like the Patriots team and the Celtics. Like,
As one is.
yes. So they invited me to their Christmas party. This was my first time and last time ever going to a party like this. I just didn't know what to expect. I guess I didn't really understand how much money they had and like what parties like this would look like.
You did not understand the assignment.
No, I was just so naive about this stuff. And they told me I could invite a friend. And a lot of the Patriots players would be there. So I invited our friend Haley because she is a huge Patriots fan. And I thought I'd make a little child's dream come true.
Yeah, and you did.
Yep.
Yeah.
So me being naive, you know, in my training, you're supposed to bring something to a party. So I was like, oh, I'll make some truffles. So I found this great recipe for these like amazing red velvet brownie truffles.
Ooh.
Spent all day making these little truffles.
Oh.
Haley and I show up to this house. We walk in and of course it's catered. Like these people are millionaires. There's other millionaires there. Like everyone's just going to be like bringing food like a potluck.
It's a potluck. Rich people potluck.
These people don't even touch their kitchens. There's no way people are going to be making things. I don't know what I was thinking.
Their kitchens are for aesthetics only. You
Yes, literally. But I didn't want to show up empty-handed, so I walk in with my little Tupperware of truffles, and there's like caterers everywhere.
It's like Gladware.
Yeah.
I'm going to need that back after.
There's like, you know, nice spreads, beautiful tables, and then me with my little tuppy. So, so the mom told me I could put my truffles on the dessert table. I was super embarrassed.
Did she just go, oh.
Yeah. Oh, I don't even remember. I was so, like, the second I saw the caterers, I was like, oh, fuck. So embarrassed.
But you're so polite.
I know. I was so nervous, too. So, yeah, that was like the second I got there, I realized I had already made a social faux pas. So
we don't fit in with that crowd.
No, it was very obvious immediately.
Yeah, but did you have fun?
I had a great time.
There you go.
So yeah, I put the truffles on the dessert table, but everyone was complimenting me all night about my truffles. They love them. So it actually worked out.
Probably like weird for them. They're like, oh my God, someone like made something.
How do you even do that?
How do you do that?
I didn't know
they turned
ovens
on
worked.
an oven.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This party was so fancy. There were like lobster rolls everywhere. And Haley and I, of course, were both like, lobster rolls. Like
putting them in your purse.
Yeah.
These ones are for later.
Oh, I wish I could just like see us at that. Although I don't know if I would even want to look in on that scene because
it's best to keep in your memory.
I know, secondhand embarrassment even just thinking about this memory. But we were like freaking out about these little lobster rolls, so we both grabbed two of them. So we're double fisting lobster rolls. And then the door opens and Rob Gronkowski walks in.
Oh my God.
And we're both standing there with double fisting lobster rolls.
You're like, oh,
shoving them in our mouths.
Oh my God, is that Gronk?
Like, oh shit, that's Gronk.
You're just like choking lobster rolls down, being like, oh my God.
Yeah, he was very impressed. He thought we were really
like, wow,
hot.
those girls are really taking in those lobster rolls. I've never seen anything like
Have
this.
they ever eaten before? Do they know what lobster is? Those poor girls. But
they should pay her more.
we did end up chatting with Gronk a little bit. He called me the nanny.
Oh, okay, well, cool.
Yep, his dad was there for some reason.
Oh.
So yeah, I really impressed Gronk's dad with my truffles.
That's really cute.
Yeah. So that's
Gronk just called you the nanny. He didn't like bother to learn your name.
No, just the nanny. I think I wore a Forever 21 dress, which just adds to this.
That's all right.
I was like 22, maybe.
Hey,
Just a little baby in the world. Although I would still probably make all those mistakes as if I like learned anything.
Did you go to Andrea's wedding?
No.
Oh,
Too fancy for me.
Yeah. So probably the fanciest thing I've ever been to, and we're like about to walk into the church because this wedding took place at the it was the fanciest thing I've ever gone to. It took place at the Rosecliff Mansion,
Ooh.
which is in Newport, Rhode Island. It's actually the mansion at the end of the movie True Lives, which my dad likes to tell me over and over again.
I don't get that reference.
Apparently it was a big movie in like the early 90s, 80s. It had Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis in it. Maybe just Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know who the other guy was, but
Okay.
so it's like kind of a big deal. And we're like about to walk in and my mom stops me and she just turns at me. She's like an inch from my face and she goes, listen. And I was like, once again, I was like, what, 22? No, I was like 25 or something. And she's like, this is the fanciest thing you will ever go to.
Don't touch anything.
She was like, our family's not like this family. She's like, this is a whole different tax bracket. She's like, you are going to behave. Do not overdrink. Don't embarrass me. And I was like, oh, like put the fear of God into me.
Were you on your best behavior?
You know, I danced a little bit, but I was, you know what? I've behaved worse.
Yes, you have.
I did not go to the DJ stand and try to DJ myself. So,
well, you did that at my wedding and I loved it. DJ Christine.
I think they had a live band there. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
DJing probably wouldn't have gone over well. You could have played the piano for him. Everyone clear the stage.
Have you guys heard of this one? It's called Mary Had a Little Lamb. But yeah, no, we should stay in our lane, yes. I guess.
All right. And this has been Alternative Segments.
Alternatives. Pew, 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 pew.
All right. Now we're
wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up. We got one more segment. You know the deal.
You know it. Best for last. Ready?
Pizza secrets. Tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets.
Yeah. Nice.
Want to explain? You want to explain Bagel Bites?
Pizza secrets. I've got a mini pizza secret.
We're calling these ones Bagel Bites.
Bagel Bites. It's a mini one. It's not a long dramatic story. Just a mini one. And it's kind of, if you haven't listened to our last episode, you should, because it's kind of like ties in closely. It's another story about Joyce. Because the people want to know about Joyce.
They demand it.
They demanded it. So here we are.
Give us that bagel bite.
Yeah. So as you well know, if you listened to the last episode, Joyce and I were study buddies in college. Looking back at it now, we were very mean to him.
He loved it. He loved our gentle banter that he wasn't partaking in.
I think he was afraid of us more than anything. But we were kind of like an unhealthy codependence on each other because we needed to study together and we worked well together. But anyway, so my study buddy, one time Joyce told me his back was bothering him. And then I told Grace. And now every time we talk about him or talk to him or anything, we always say, hey, Joyce, I hope your back's better. It's been years. It's been like over 10 years.
10 years.
I've called him on random occasions, usually after hours, after a couple imbibing in a couple of beverages and
drunk voicemails is what she's saying.
And we just go, Joyce, I hope your back's better.
It was like a very temporary injury that he had like 10 years ago.
He just like, I don't know, he was like lifting. He's like, oh, my back hurts. And now it's like been this huge thing where like, I think we like hollered at him like across the street or like across like the walkway at UMaine being like, Joyce,
hope your back's better.
And he's like, these girls.
It was one time my back hurt.
It doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, we think it's funny though, so we're just going to keep doing it.
Like, keep harassing him.
Think of how much funnier it'll be in 10 more years.
10 more years. Like in your 40s.
This is a joke that just gets better and better with age.
Because eventually he's going to get old and his back's going to re-bother him.
Oh, it'll come back around. And then we do hope his back is better.
And then we're just being nice about it, Yeah. We were assholes and now we're nice. So, Joyce, I hope your back's better.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also hope your back is better.
Yeah. Let us know, Joyce. Give us an email.
Joyce specifically, send us an email.
Yeah.
Pizza secret.
Bagel bite.
Bagel secrets. All right, I guess I also have a little bit of a bagel bite.
Oh, bagel bite. It's a bagel bite day.
Yeah.
You can't have pizza all the time.
Yeah, all right. Snack on this little sucker.
Don't say it like that.
Put this little sucker in your mouth.
That's even
Slurp
worse.
this down.
No, you don't slurp bagels.
You could.
That's not how that works.
All right, suck on this bagel bite.
Oh.
In 8th grade, one day after softball practice, I remember there was a group of us hanging out at the middle school. And
nice.
For some reason, we all were throwing rocks at the side of the modulars. There were like these temporary modulars being used as classrooms.
As one does, you just throw a rock at it.
Yeah, we were probably like all worked up from the softball. We were like, let's throw more things. Here are some rocks. And like always, I had to be the one to escalate things. And I threw a rock at the window and I broke it. And that ruined the fun. That ruined the game.
And then you're like,
throwing
run!
rocks. Yep. And to be fair, it was the Spanish teacher, Senora Quinn's window, and she was super mean. So
yeah.
I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm also not apologizing.
Yeah. Sorry, not sorry.
Yep.
Nah. What are you going to do about it, Senora?
Yeah, come at me, Senora.
She was mean.
She was mean, I know. So, I don't know.
Probably because he threw a rock at her window.
No, I think the meanness came first and then the rock. It was not retaliation, but...
Was it the rock, then the meanness, or the meanness and the rock?
Meanness than the rock.
Chicken or the egg
I
kind
was
of situation.
inspired by her meanness to take it up a notch and go for the window, I guess. And that's just one of many examples of my impulsivity.
Yeah.
Pizza secrets!
Pizza secret! Bagel bite!
All right, that is wrapping up our show.
Do we want to talk about how we, as two Mainers with like parents with Maine accents, had to look up the correct way to say modular?
Oh, yes.
Because we didn't know.
Yeah.
We couldn't figure out if it was modular or modula, because every time I've heard it, it's modula, but that's because we are Mainers who can't pronounce R's. So we had to look up we had to go on like Google pronunciation and
Hear
look
her
up.
say it.
It's modular. Get a pen, everybody. MODULARS. Modulars. Modula.
I truly thought it was modula.
Yeah, same. I've been saying it wrong my whole life. But here we are, learning moment.
Yep. That's just a fun little fact we
Fun
learned
fact,
today.
bonus fact for all of you.
You're welcome.
That's been our episode. Follow us on all the socials. We've got Instagram at Weirds of a Feather. We got TikTok. We just posted something about body doubling.
Well, when this episode comes out,
Yeah,
it will
it's
have been
going
a while
to
ago.
be a while. So look back.
A week and a half ago, we posted about
we
body
posted
doubling.
something. Maybe we'll post another one. Who knows?
Yep, we're going to try to keep it up with the body double dare. That's kind of the only way we're going to get some stuff done.
Send in your body double dares or get a friend and respond to us on body double dare.
Yeah, challenge each other like, I dare you to make a phone call. Oh!
Whoa! I dare you to go grocery shopping and buy a vegetable. Whoa! That's an extra dare.
Wow.
And maybe with your body double dares, you'll come across something like Chef Santa. That'll be great.
Chef Santa.
Chef Santa. Mixing up a whole batch of love. Chef Santa.
Chef Santa. Sending kisses from above.
Oh, that's beautiful. That was the best one.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway.
Like we said, we're taking a break off for next week.
But that doesn't mean you can't like and subscribe to all of our episodes.
True that.
Give us a 5-star review. Give us any review.
5 stars.
Yeah, we like 5 stars, but I'll take a 4-star.
I won't. 5 stars only.
Okay. 5 stars only, please.
Otherwise, piss off. You try making a podcast. It's really hard.
It is really hard.
Tell your family members about our podcast at Christmas time, unless they're the worst, and then don't tell them because they'll hate it.
If they know what podcasts are, tell them about it.
Tell your like cool cousins about us.
Yeah,
how about that?
Tell your weird uncles about us. Yeah, because we don't want to chat with them.
And then he's going to get to the racist uncle episode, and he's like, "What the hell is this?
I'm offended.
As a racist uncle, I'm offended.
I feel marginalized."
We'll talk to you the week after next. Have a good little holiday break. Christmas birds.
We need jingle bells. Chim, 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 chim.
Is that a bird?
Chim, 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 chim. It's a bell bird. It's a bird that sounds like a bell. Chim, 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 chim.
Bellbird. No. Bellbird.
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 That was a good one. Good